Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rob Has a Podcast. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and I am here live tonight to talk through the triple eviction of Big Brother Canada 10. And I could not have asked for a better panel to talk to me about this triple eviction. With me tonight is Grace. How you doing, Grace?
I'm doing well. This is not the last time you'll see me on TV.
I unfortunately need to inform you that this is not TV.
You told me this would be television.
I did tell you that, but that's just what Kevin told me to tell you. So I'm really sorry about that one.
All right. You
Yeah.
got me.
Also with us tonight is the man himself, Jacob Jones. How you doing, Jacob?
I like the little flex. I've been working out. I am fantastic. Well, fantastic in the sense that I get to be here with you and Grace. Sad in the fact of the results for the triple eviction. A little bit distraught. My mouth was on the floor, kind of like how JC's, jaw has been dropping every eviction almost, it seems. And yeah, impressed, distraught, entertained, but sad. Mix those all into one, and you have Jacob Jones.
There you go. And you got some new digs.
Mm-hmm.
Looking great.
Digs.
Yeah.
What is the dig?
The new digs. Like you got a new place.
A place.
Oh yes, wait. Who uses that retro term anymore? Yes, I moved. This is my living room. I typically record in my bedroom, but I have not put my desk up because I don't own tools. Shocker. I don't own screwdrivers. I have a hammer.
Is that what I need to give you like a screwdriver for your birthday?
No, well, Taran did give me a bidet, and the bidet is installed. And let me just tell everyone, I have never felt as squeaky clean. Is that the sound that you can make me? Whatever. Sure. It's amazing. I love it, and Taran, I think I'm forever indebted to you.
Yeah. Well, I think this was the clip of you using the bidet, right?
Underneath my back. Underneath my back.
Oh. Did you have a camera was a camera set up? Absolutely though.
Oh boy. Well, plenty to get through here tonight as we had the triple eviction. We lost not one, not two, but three players tonight. First was Gummy Dummy himself, Gino. Then we lost Couldn't Give a Damn Summer. And of course, Mr.
You shouldn't be worried.
You shouldn't be worried, Marty. Here tonight. They will all be heading to jury. What a night. What a night.
Not a good one. I mean, it depends on who you ask, but what a night. Yeah, what a night. Check out their digs. How about that?
Yeah, fun triple. I thought I had got spoiled on Twitter like many other people, and then was not spoiled on Twitter. So that was kind of fun. What a roller coaster ride of a night for me. Yeah,
was it fun? So I typically Big Brother Canada, I watch it like after the fact, or sometimes if I want to dial back into like the recap episodes, I watch like the last like couple minutes when y'all talk about like who got evicted, X, Y, and Z. But this one I just stumbled on because it was some Real Housewife news that just broke, episode descriptions, and so I tuned into that, and then I found myself being spoiled, and I felt at peace. I was at peace, and so I came into this episode really at ease and at peace with the results that I thought I saw. Or that I thought was right.
I'm curious because I had to avoid, even though I thought that they would not be correct, I still avoided the spoilers just in case.
Yeah.
I didn't want any preconceived notions. What were the spoilers tonight? The fake spoilers?
Gino, Marty, and JC.
Yeah.
I was at peace with this. So
that was the most likely outcome. No, they tried it.
Yeah.
Watching the episode, it's like somebody shook me out of my own. Literally, I felt, I was like, wait, is Arissa about to say that somebody broke the rules? Are we about to redo the Veto Competition? What is actually about to happen? And so so that is adding to the distraughtness that I have experienced watching this episode, because I was at peace when I first saw it, the spoilers, but then watching this, I was like, the hell, let me go mute this account. I should have blocked, but to each his own.
To each his own. Well, the spoilers were wrong. We lost Summer, not Jace, because Jace won that veto. The big news, though, of the night is that Josh wins the triple eviction HOH and nominates not only Summer, but also Betty in the triple eviction. And I can only imagine what is happening on the feeds right now between the two of them, as we think about all of the things that Betty will be saying.
Petty Betty loves a good show.
Oh, and I hope she puts on a good one, damn it. I hope an Oscar-worthy one. I hope she lets the haves have it, and I hope she gives it to Josh like he needs to. And I oftentimes felt sympathy for Josh every time he cried, because I'm like, I feel that. I feel it. I feel like sometimes you just need a good cry. But now, I'm not saying I hope he cries, but I do hope something flows. You know what I mean? I hope Betty can, make him rattle a little bit, because what the hell was that? Summer, we saw how much he was in love with Kevin. I didn't expect. I was like, okay, Helena, he may not put Helena up just by the association of them three working together. But Betty, the one that was just telling you about like marriage and you're going to be a part of it, like that Betty, the Betty that you went to go celebrate your triple eviction HOH with, the first person that you went to that room with when Summer had to hand you your ass, that Betty you going to put on block 2, that's what got me. That's what shook me. That's when I was like, okay, this man is off his rockers a little bit. But here we are. Yeah,
pretty surprised. It feels like he potentially, he burns. He'll never get Summer's jury vote, as she tells him. Not tells him, but says at the end of the episode. And potentially has broken some trust with Betty. So, I mean, you want to win, I think, the in the triple, but I don't know if this was the best outcome he could have gotten out of tonight.
Yes, for sure. It sounds like the feeds are already back, actually. I doubt we have an HOH results already. I'm assuming they're back, and then we'll go back down for an HOH competition. That would be my guess, but I have no idea. They literally just came back. But we might see some fallout. So stay tuned potentially to the end of the podcast to get a taste of what might be happening here. Should we be surprised, though? Josh told us just a few weeks ago.
My loyalty definitely lies with the crash test dummies.
The crash test dummies. That's where his loyalty lies. And the thing is, even with his loyalty lying there, I don't know that he makes the right call here. I just don't know that Betty was the right person to put up on the block. I just don't know that was the call. Even because obviously we'll talk about the fact that he shouldn't be playing Kevin's game in the first place. But even if you are playing Kevin's game, I still don't know that putting Betty on the block is the right call. Because it is now a position, 5 people remain in the game. Josh can't compete in the HOH, and it's Betty and Jace versus Kevin and Helena for this HOH. And if now if Betty wins, instead of being with Josh, Kevin, and Helena against Jace, she has every reason in the world to team up with Jace now and take a shot at one of the crash test dummies. So it's a tricky spot.
Yeah, because I think that probably I'm just trying to think through the math that Kevin even if Josh nominates Kevin, I think Kevin still stays, and so I feel like that is an easier recovery in terms of I had to nominate someone. I think you can convince Kevin that it was, it's not that bad of a move. Whereas Betty, Petty Betty, I think is going to hold more resentment than Kevin would have for being nominated in the triple here. So I think that's why it's the wrong move. Because I don't think I don't think Betty didn't go home. But I do think the perception is worse by putting Betty up than putting Kevin up.
Yes.
Also, though, 2 of the crash test dummies, I used to like that name, but today, and probably forever, I will hate that name. But 2 of the crash test dummies, and Scally, thank you for reminding me about this on Twitter. They said, hey, they were planning scenarios for triple evictions, and they told Josh, hey, you're talked about in the sphere of this, would you be a third nominee, or you're going to be a third nominee if we get to this point. So I feel like even though they said that conversation was had, he knew possibly that he would potentially be, in case of a triple eviction, that his name or his body would be on the third slot. I could have think that would be a perfect avenue for you to put up Helena and get your BFF in the house to stay close to you instead of having the reaction that I hope Petty Betty gives you when Taran, filters out the feeds and gives us a deep dive.
Yes. So it sounds like we actually do have a new HOH result. We will get to that shortly when we get into spoiler territory. In the meantime, we will continue to talk about the triple eviction. What a night. I think that in terms of how triple evictions have gone in the past, we have season 3 was season 5 was great, I guess, depending on your perspective, but Kevin winning the veto there was pretty good. Season 6 was like, and now this one, I feel like, again, depending on who you're rooting for often, but this was an exciting result in the sense that we got a blindside to start it. We then head into an HOH competition where Jace is just distraught, pissed, right? She's tied for first place all the way through the HOH competition. It could not have been closer unless it went to a tiebreaker. But in terms of like actually watching them, the final question they finally answered differently, and it's the one she gets wrong. So close. Now Josh, the HOH, the person who is going to have a really tricky time naming a third nominee, not only does he have to name a third nominee, which pisses Summer off, but he then has to name a fourth nominee when Jace wins the veto, and then he nominates Betty, the person who just a few days ago asked him to be a bridesmaid in her wedding, and she's clearly not very pleased, and so what a wild ride of a triple eviction. And I would say again, I'm still personally like not the biggest fan of triple evictions. I would prefer them to go in different kinds of directions, but I do think that this one they managed to pull it off, and this was a good time.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit disappointing to see kind of Summer just go out in a triple eviction, kind of as like the other casualty of this vote. Kind of disappointing. I think that like she gives us a lot for like what she does, where she is in the episode. But the pacing of this episode was very strange, I have to say. Like crammed the second, the actual like double part of the triple into like the last probably 25 minutes of the episode. It felt very, very rushed. And like, yeah, it just made me kind of want to see like more of Summer, a full week of Summer on the block and perhaps being mad, being that entertaining. So I'm a little disappointed for her to be in that spot. Would have preferred JC Lynn to go. Probably. But like, I don't know, it's kind of fun that like she ended up saving herself after like her, the one half of her showmance goes out. I don't know. It's kind of fun.
And can I just ask a question of Big Brother production? Why do we need a jury segment for every double and triple eviction that you do? They did the same thing last season. It's literally the most jam-packed. Do you know how many times during the day today I was asked, "Oh, is tonight 2 hours?" Because it's such a momentous occasion. Why wouldn't it be a 2-hour episode? No, it's not a 2-hour episode. 3 people are leaving in 1 hour. And you to be continued the veto ceremony. So we also have a veto ceremony. And we still needed the jury segment?
It actually makes no sense. This is nonsensical. This is completely illogical.
Yes. Thank you, Josh.
I love seeing you riled up. I honestly, give me more Hamad, give me more Moose. The pace was a little bit off.
I liked the jury segment.
It was cute. It was super cute.
Save it for Monday. Or Wednesday.
Herman gives us like the best reaction to somebody watching the tape ever, maybe.
Literally, it was perfect. But I also want to say, I kind of want to give a little. I was definitely impressed as we kind of talked about what happened in tonight's episode. I was definitely impressed by JC's comp outcomes, close to comms. I saw someone in the chat call her an icon. Wouldn't go that far, but I definitely would give her 2 snaps, 3 snaps of of love or likeness in that aspect. But it was cute. I was definitely like, damn. I mean, homegirl man just left. She busting out in these competitions. All right, you know what I mean. Go ahead with your bad self, but not an icon, people. Not an icon.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna get the complaining out of the way, I will also say, what was that veto competition? Like,
it's like a big wheel, and then I was like, oh, it's gonna be kind of cool, and then it barely moves, and they have to like be like hitting it. Like I thought someone was absolutely gonna break that clock.
and just like the editing of that competition was wild. Like
They didn't show any. I mean, yeah, they didn't show.
we kept cutting from Jace to Marty to everybody that we can't see,
A
to
wide
Jace
shot.
to
Marty
Marty
wasn't
to
even-
everybody that we
Marty
can't
wasn't
see.
even close. He had 3 left to get in. It was not like we have to. Oh, the you know, it's gonna be a by a hair. No, 3 left for Marty.
And then we see Betty and Josh in the sitting on side like
Watching.
I was like, child, show me the money, show me what's going on, please.
Like if I was on the very edge of my seat throughout the entire HOH competition, watching Jace almost win it, I was the complete opposite during the veto competition. Knowing the stakes were also very high, that if Jace won, this would be massive, I was firmly planted in the back of my seat the whole time. Like, I'm pretty sure Jace is gonna win.
Well, some of us thought JC
pretty
absolutely could
sure.
not win. So yeah.
No, I was thinking, I was like, wait, so she may fall off. One of the balls may jump up and land over the other side. You know, Arissa may say you cheated. I was thinking something like that was going to come, and it didn't. I was like, child, please just take me out. Like, I do not want to be here experiencing this. But honestly, that's why it had me on the edge of my seat, because I was like, oh, this ain't how it's going to happen. Like, some shit about to pop off. But no, nothing popped.
And they're cutting to Marty, so I'm like, wow, Marty's gonna make a huge comeback. I mean, man. But also, I guess Marty was the other person who was foretold.
Yeah, they kept cutting to Marty, and he had like 3 holes open.
No,
It's like
JC did the damn thing.
Seems like nobody's close.
Nobody.
Like, is Marty the closest with 1 ball in versus JC's 3?
I was thinking Summer was closer, but I couldn't see her whole wheel. When
Never
they shot
saw.
the little,
No,
like,
Summer, I don't
1
think did well at
second.
all. I believe in
Oh,
her
really?
TikTok interview, she said she was so distraught that she was put out that she could not concentrate.
Oh,
boy.
damn.
Oh, Summer.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's why. Yeah.
Man. Well, what an episode. We still there's plenty of Gummy shaming to do. I'm honestly at a point in my my soundboard where it's just like, how many different Gummy iterations can I've got Gummy Dummy, I've got Gummy Incident, I've got Gummy Spoken. I can only do 2 words, so it's always Gummy and then another thing. There's so many Gummy bites at this point that I'm just biting into Gummy every time I click my soundboard. But I did love this this soundbite.
What a gummy. I mean, dummy.
I was gonna say Gummy Dummy, but I think you already said that. Yeah, I mean, how many gummies can you actually do? I honestly love Gummy. Like, gummies, anything I will take and ingest. Like the legal. Like, I'm actually talking about like gummies you can buy like at CVS and things like that.
There's
And I
legal
love
gummies
them.
here in Canada too. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know about New York. I haven't checked. I just moved here. But yeah. And so Taran, you're a trendsetter, baby. And I like how you say I'm taking a bite out of. Ta-da.
Thank you, Jacob. So honestly, I don't even remember what this soundbite is.
This is what I've been waiting for.
Oh, there it is. This is what Kevin's been waiting for. This is what we've all been waiting for. The triple eviction. That's mostly what people want, I think. It's
Fantastic.
It's fantastic. It's good stuff. I mean, the blind side, I think, truly is what we're waiting for. Everything that we would want from a blind side. Gino is like, you can see that Gino is nervous, but thinks he's got it, right? And so my favorite part was after the speeches, Gino puts his hand on Josh's leg to give him like a little bit of like, hey, you know, we got this, kind of like comforting the person he thinks is leaving, but he's still nervous himself. Then Josh, seeing Gino trying to comfort him, puts his arm around Gino, like, like he needs to comfort him. The votes are red. Gino's just like, oh. Jace is like, oh. And Marty's like,
I love it. It's the whole thing is a thing of beauty. It's like somebody wrote it. The fact that not only has Marty screwed over Gino 2 times and keeps like trying so hard to mend fences with Gino, and then ends up putting him on the block because of this gummy bear thing. That Gino, like, I love all the stuff at the beginning where like they're like like Gino's like. And JC later both like, I'm so mad he made us do that. Like, he absolutely didn't make you like you chose to do that. You chose to put another gummy bear in there, and just the whole thing is perfection. And so Gino goes out on Marty's HOH. I absolutely love it. I actually think we're talking, again, I'm not going to put the word icon on JC Lynn, but I did think her like conversation with Helena was very good. And like, she's just like, you're being very weird. And I'm pretty sure you're going to vote out Gino. So if you could just stop being weird. He's like, no, I'm not going to vote out. Like, yeah, you're saying like right now you're not going to do it. I love the whole thing. I thought it was fantastic.
I love that.
Yeah, Helena was not great in that conversation.
No.
When you are being read like a book by the person who did this
You really suck at lying.
to Kyle, you are bad at lying. You really suck at lying.
Bad. I do have a quick question for y'all. And if y'all can put yourselves into the physical space of, being a double eviction, lying to people, betraying people. When they had that, I'm speaking for Helena and Kevin. When you blindside someone and that person leaves and you have people that are angry at you, where do you look? When Larissa reads the eviction vote, when they stand up giving hugs, where do you look besides the floor? Because I don't know why this crossed the line, but the only thing I was thinking about was I want to see where Helena and Kevin's eyes are, because I could not, you can't look at Gino while he's leaving. You can't look at Marty. You can't look at, JC. I mean, you can look at the other ones, but I was just like, where do you stare when you just did like a morally shitty thing, but a game-wise amazing thing,
No, you gotta look at you. You gotta look at. You gotta be like, I did it. You're the best. I had to do it.
Yeah, well,
right in the eye.
There are a few options. There's the look Gino in the eye, so when he looks at you, you go you give him the I'm sorry, right? There's also the Polly, which is you stare straight at him like, that's right.
I was thinking, look behind you. Is there other people in the house who could have voted? I don't know.
Yes, that's genuinely one of them. For even though clearly you were part of it, you also give the what?
Oh my goodness, that'd be so bad.
Or sometimes you do the cover. Oh my god!
Check the watch. Is that the time? Wow. You have to go.
I would literally be like this. I would be or I would be so shaken. Oh, but y'all are right. I love that.
Just close your eyes, Jacob.
Yeah.
Just don't look at anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think strategically the best play is the I'm sorry look in the eye.
Yeah.
I think the best horror villain thing is the Polly. Is they're looking around the room and they're seeing everybody else I'm sorry, and then they get to you and you're just sorry, bud.
Oh my god.
You just give a little laugh.
That was
just a little one. So I love also that Gino calls it.
I just ended up on the block because of a gummy bear incident.
Look, I'm sorry I can't come into work. There was a gummy bear incident.
Is that the new my dog ate my homework? Poor face.
Gummy bears.
Look, I did not get my essay done, but I'm telling you, there's a good reason. There was a gummy bear incident. What do you I pulled a gummy bear out of the bag and it was a red one. So,
but you have to say that I did it to myself, though. You have to put.
I did. I chose to reach into that bag. I didn't think it would be red. Okay, I'll take responsibility for that. All right.
Wow.
I don't eat red anything because most of them are cherry. So he should take that philosophy.
Why does a red one mean you didn't have to do your essay? It's a gummy bear incident.
The other ones were yellow, and this one was red.
If it had been yellow, then I would have done it.
Yellow.
Why don't you get this? I feel like it's pretty clear, but
it is.
What did you think of the Gino and JC Lynn pitch to Kevin and Helena? I thought it was worthwhile endeavor, right? Like we'll all just vote. It was the four of us. Just get rid of Marty. Marty's bad. Marty's bad, and we'll all stick together.
I thought it was a good try, and I like the way that Gino positioned, like, hey, like if y'all do this, y'all will have like Marty coming after you, will have JC coming after you, and like, do y'all want that? And I thought it was a good attempt, even though I kind of knew, okay, where this will end up. I thought it was, he's trying everything. JC filled him in on the suspicious conversation he had with Helena. He's doing what he has to do, and I was with it for the time being.
Also, Gino, I mean, I have to break up the spoilers a lot, but Gino's like, the two of you will end up in a triple. And I was like, actually, Gino and JC Lynn are actually going home. So this is very excellent foreshadowing, but no, it's not true at all. I mean, JC Lynn did put up, but.
Yeah, it wasn't the best pitch. It was one of those things because like Gino hasn't really done pitches. He hasn't really campaigned for anything in the game to this point. So like his perspective on how to pitch was like, okay, I've got 4 points. I'm gonna sit them down one time. I'm gonna give them my points, and then money, right? And obviously it didn't work.
The idea to pitch to both of them after JC Lynn clearly, like, I think it does kind of like eventually, I think, realize she has not lied well. And then it's like, well, if Kevin decides to vote, then there's no way I can't vote Gino out. That would be bad if I end up on the wrong side. So Kevin does it. So then the idea of pitching them both together in the same room, being like, can you please vote? Is something. There's something.
Yeah. It is, yeah. I mean, it's certainly better than not doing anything. I'll give him that.
Definitely.
We did get a this felt like it was straight out of maybe not a rom-com, but like a tragic romance movie.
I don't know what I would do without you.
The music behind it, the swoop. I don't know what I would do without you.
It's so whispered.
I know the whispers is kind of like what turns me on. I mean, like, get out of my ear. What you doing? No, it kind of was steamy. I love it.
Jacob, I don't know what I would do without you.
It's the full sentence without like breathing outward.
I don't know what I would do without you.
That's amazing.
And then on the speaking of like romance and just like just deep passion, we also had Kevin.
I'm a winter baby in the winter.
Which I thought was a bop. It was literally a bop. Literally a bop.
I do have to say, I remember I was the day in Toronto. It was April and it was snowing outside. It was a big deal. So Kevin going out and enjoying the snow.
Well,
I personally hate the snow, but Kevin going out and enjoying the snow.
Were you a winter baby in the winter?
No, I'm a summer baby in the summer baby.
Oh!
So this was a bad episode for you.
It was very bad, very disappointing. Yeah.
Mariah Carey better start getting in the studio because all I want for Christmas is being taken down by Kevin's I'm a winter baby.
What's funny is that during Gino's first HOH, he had questions for everyone. One of the questions was winter retreat or summer retreat. Kevin got this question wrong because he said winter. And Gino said that's the wrong answer.
That's right.
And then flash forward to today, Kevin is singing,
I'm a winter baby in the winter.
I'm free to be a winter baby now because Gino's on his way out the door.
It was perfect.
Catchy little tune that
he's fun. He's so fun, like so maddening, so theatrical, but so damn fun and funny. I loved it.
I agree.
And going out in the snow shirtless, like who, like pneumonia? Is that that's how you can get pneumonia?
Get in the hot tub. You should get in the hot tub.
Oh yeah, is that a thing? Even if it's snowing,
Hot tub in the
snow.
snow.
Hot tub in the snow, Jacob.
That's the thing.
It's beefing. What?
It's the thing, not beefing.
Oh, I thought you said it was. I'll tell you, I'm about to say your terminology.
We eat beef in the hot tub in the snow. That's what we do in Canada.
Okay.
You beef in the digs, Jacob.
Taran, you've been too close to nowhere. Yeah, you wouldn't catch me outside in a hot, even though my bottom's hot, my top is not. Like my top getting snow on.
No, you're submerged.
And
shoulders.
And there's steam.
Yeah.
There's steam. Try it out. We'll go skiing. We'll do some après ski, and then we'll sit in the hot tub in the snow. It'll be great.
Oh, perfect.
These are your Texan roots are showing here that you haven't experienced.
I'm keeping my ass inside.
We did get. I liked this. Josh clearly took some inspiration from Summer in his eviction speech.
But let me remind you all of this delicious chocolate chip cookie standing right here. So come take a bite and keep me in this game.
I wanted to buy it. I wanted to buy it. No, I love that moment. For one, I love chocolate chip cookies, and it was so funny.
The speeches this year have been out there. They've been great.
There's something about Josh when he's not speaking normally that just tickles me.
Yeah.
Like this Josh giving a speech, Josh in the diary room. It's just a little bit like.
But let me remind you all of this delicious chocolate chip cookie standing right here. So come take a bite and keep me in this game.
It all brings me back to.
I've dealt with some definitely squirmy babies.
Don't bring that back. Don't bring that back.
Is this swimmy babies? Swimmy babies?
Squirmy babies.
Squirmy babies.
Some definitely squirmy babies.
That's
yes. And then man, summer goes out on a high note, in my opinion, with
The Gummy and I have spoken, and we
Oh.
vote to evict Gino.
so good.
Yeah, that
So
was
good.
so good. That was so good, so beautiful. The way she said "hold on" and then executed that line perfectly. An Oscar.
Yeah, it took her time. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. And there it is. We get the blind side by a 4-1 vote. Gino walks out. I gotta say, Arissa, where is the head smack?
You're waiting on
I
it.
get it. It's not. I guess it's not like 2002 anymore. I get that, but still, a little piece of paper.
Yeah.
Social
A little knee
distancing.
slap,
It's
you
ruined
know.
everything, including head smacks.
That would have been iconic, though.
She does give him a.
That's rough.
That's right.
I feel like I've seen her go harder in like it just even the stupidity level of things harder, and I feel like I just would have liked a little more presses of the gas. But I
Yeah,
guess
she
you
gave
definitely
Marty
quit.
flack for the gummy bear. I think she should give Martino more flack about the gummy bear.
Yeah. She didn't give him a.
No.
I thought she was
Just
gonna play
a-
the whispers in
rough.
my ear.
That's rough.
So
I say that's rough when I'm like not really. Somebody will say like something bad has happened. I don't really know what to say. That's rough.
yeah,
That's
rough. That's
That's
rough.
rough.
It's, because there are different levels of that's rough, right? There's
Yeah.
like that's rough. That's rough. And then there's like, oh man, that's rough. And I feel like, on that scale, Arissa was kind of closer to the first one.
That's rough.
That's rough.
That's rough.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, she definitely was closer to the first one, but I don't think that what is she? That's rough. I don't think that has that many variations. Like that. Damn, that's rough. That's rough. I don't know.
There's like that's rough as like I don't know what to tell you.
I know that's rough.
Like, what do you want me to
Okay,
do?
then, like,
and then there's that's rough. That's like, oh my god, that's so rough. I'm so sorry.
See, I think my word that I use instead of that's rough is like damn, or damn.
Right?
Damn,
Yeah,
you
there
know
you
what
go.
I mean? Like,
Right?
okay,
Yeah.
I'm on that. We see each other. I get y'all.
Oof is another. Yeah. Oof. That's rough. I just add that's rough on it.
I don't know if I could go. I don't know if I can go serious with oof.
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 Yeah, fair.
It's oof. Nope, I can't. It's,
No, you can't. I saw that smirk
I don't know.
coming. That smirk was coming.
Okay.
Man, I went out because of a gummy incident. Oof.
Oof. That's rough.
No, you want to laugh. You can't do it. Yeah. Oof. I don't know
Oof.
about that.
Oh boy, we did get the jury segment. I did, like I said, I did enjoy the jury segment. I just feel like could have been another night, but we got it. It was good. Fun seeing Herman again. Herman said that having some time to think about it, he's getting more bitter against the people that did not vote for him, which is interesting because when he talked to me, basically he was saying like Summer, Josh. Moose, Gino, all of these people. He was like, I'm high on their games. I'd probably vote for Betty too. He was on the block against Betty though, so maybe that's not as much. But seems as though potentially he's starting to feel a little more salty. Probably particularly with Josh, maybe with Summer as well, because we talked about this a little bit. When I talked to Moose in the X interview, we have reason to believe that Moose may have spent some time with Herman by the time I talked to him, because I talked to him on Tuesday instead of Friday. And when I talked to Moose, Moose was pretty salty toward Josh, and he was a lot less high on Summer's game than Herman had been. So that indicates to me that they were kind of already starting to feel like maybe the both of them are feeling maybe Josh not great. And now,
oh, if Summer's going in there, you know what? I really like Josh a lot. I almost don't want him to make the finals because I don't want him to have to face a jury of people who are mad at him. I want to spare him of that, I think. So I think I'd rather him be voted out. I mean, he'll have to then face it in the jury house, but at least he got voted out, and they'll be like, "Nah, you see, I told you," rather than being like maybe genuinely mean at the end. I don't know. We'll see.
I want him to face a little bit of the raft. Give it to him.
You do it in jury house though. Don't have to do it on live TV.
Because I think he will break down. Yeah.
Oh boy. Well,
but the jury segment was super cute, and I just want to say the lighting was impeccable for people of color. Because like sometimes the lighting can just be like it can, but for people of color, like the open form of the house lay, how the windows were, the sun, like the sun, like it just made them look like decadent. Is that
decadent?
Decadent. Oh my goodness. This is why I should not try new words.
I always try new words, Jake.
Decadent.
Wait, do you want me to pretend that decadent is a real? We'll go along with it.
I like decadent better, to be honest.
Decadent.
Yeah.
Yeah, decadent.
It kind of rolls off the tongue more than decadent. Decadent is too many.
I think decadent is wrong. Historically, people. Yeah, that's. Yeah,
I'm a lazy talker, so my tongue just like does all the like, you know what I mean? But decadent. Absolutely. Decadent. The lighting was perfect, though. Honestly,
I love that Herman. It's a very silly joke to be like, I dance from 9:45 to 10. Like, what a specific time to dance for an hour every morning. Not like on the hour, not on the half hour. It's the 45-minute mark. That's my dancing hour. I really like that.
Yes, we also we all sort of got to see something that gave me an idea for a business opportunity. Because Moose says this.
I am 1000% sure that Marty was the secret power of veto holder. I would put all of the money that I've ever made in my life on it.
You're gonna be a bad boy.
Can I do another interview with Moose, please?
How old is Moose? Because
he's 25. He turned 25 in the house.
Might not be that much money.
It might be in the negatives, actually. Yeah, you might be right on that.
I mean,
no,
I'm 25.
25, he probably made some money,
What I mean?
But look, maybe the play is like, look, okay, you can keep all your money, but I want a percentage on future earnings.
Future earnings.
Because Moose is going places.
Oh, Moose is going places. Come on now. Hair care to entertainment to nightclub appearances. Yeah, Taran, you need definitely a 15% off the top and the bottom.
Yeah,
go ahead and get yours, and then send some to me.
Oh boy. So this is actually pretty interesting because the question of who had the secret veto is huge. And they currently think it's Marty, clearly. Because why wouldn't it be Marty? Everybody else would have used the veto on Marty, or used the veto so that Marty would have gotten backdoored. But the reality is that Jace had the secret veto. She chose not to use it, which indicates that she was never going to backdoor Marty, which is what Kevin and Helena have run with here in the house. This is a bit that we were not able to get in the episode. It's pretty important in my eyes, but it's obviously a lot to kind of fit into a triple eviction. But basically, Kevin and Helena have exposed the fact that Jace had the secret power of veto to Summer and Betty and Josh, coming up with a fake story that the plan was never to backdoor Marty. It was always to evict either Moose or Josh. And that's why Helena didn't use the veto, to prevent Josh from going on the block. And that's why Jace had the secret veto and chose not to use it, because she didn't actually want to backdoor Marty. Now, we know this is not true, but it really paints a sour picture of Jace and Gino in the minds of Summer and Betty, who feel like we were being tricked all that week into thinking it was going to be Marty, where if we had used the veto, Josh would have been put up instead, which is not true. But Gino and Jace's story is also going to feel a little weird, because they're going to be like, no, the plan was to backdoor Marty. and then we changed our minds.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's a bad look. That's bad for them.
So Summer's going to go to jury saying, here's the true story. Jace had the secret power of veto, and they weren't going to backdoor Marty at all. And Gino's going to be like, no. She did have the secret power of veto, but we definitely were going to backdoor Marty. We just didn't.
Where can you go?
Whoa. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad for them. Yeah, no, yeah. Brutal. Now Casey's just left in the house. Yeah.
Yikes.
It's
That's rough.
yeah.
That's rough.
Oof.
Oof.
So Josh wins the HOH in the triple eviction. Here we go. He needs to nominate 3 people. He's got some options, right? Obviously, Jace and Marty are the 2 key options here. We also forgot to mention, Gino on his way out the door says, the 3-headed dragon needs to go. The 3-headed dragon is Marty, Kevin, and Helena. That's who he's referring to.
I did assume, as somebody who did, and he goes, and we all know who that is. I said, could you just please say who? For the rest of it, I know who it is.
Yeah.
But if for the people who don't know who it, we should say that out loud.
Yes. Yeah. Just to make
Like
it very clear.
I know, but for the people who don't know, we should.
Yes, definitely. It's Marty, Kevin, and Helena, and he thinks that they're working together. He thinks that Marty is in on the flip, essentially. And he's painting that picture to Jace. This was big if Jace had won the HOH, because she probably would have put Marty up next to Kevin and Helena, which was their ideal situation. And then we get in the goodbye messages, Kevin saying, sorry, bud, like the second you went up there, of course I have to evict you. You're too amazing. And it had to be a blindside for my game. I needed to create chaos so that I could rise above it. I like this. I like this goodbye message from Kevin. I mean, Kevin is blindsiding the guy that is Gino has some of the most amount of reason to feel bitter, because you're most bitter when you have yourself to blame the most, right? Because you don't want to blame yourself, but you feel such self-hatred that you need to spew it on somebody else in order to feel okay. That's what happened with Shane, right? Shane agreed to be on the block for Dan, and then when Dan turns around and gets him, Shane really only has himself to blame, and because of that, he's gonna extra hard blame Dan. So there's a lot of reason for Gino to potentially be upset with Kevin. There's not a lot of way around that. Kevin can't dodge the blame here. So I think the only thing he can do, I think correctly, is just accept the blame and even more fully be like, I take responsibility for this. This was my plan. I made it a blindside. And I'm sorry, but it was what I had to do for my game. And it's because you're just so amazing. Of course I needed to do this. And I think if anything is going to work with Gino for Kevin, I think this is probably what's going to work.
Gino gave a bit of a reaction that I could not tell whether that was he got me, or oh, I don't like that. I couldn't. I just can't.
And I'm
really
still
read Gino,
pissed.
maybe. Yeah, I couldn't tell. So yeah, I think the other thing too, you're talking about the doing it to yourself thing. I mean, Gino he's kind of playing the I'm so nice. That's how I ended up here. He's not really the person who can use this and be like, look what I did. I did this. I put my gummy in. I put an extra gummy in. That was bad that you did it. I put trust in us. He's just not that guy. So I do agree with you that this is the play to be like, sorry, you're too good. Sorry, I had to take you up. But I can't tell if it worked on Gino or not.
Yeah, it's at least Jed has that thing where he can be like, I'm just such a great guy. I'm just too great of a guy. I gave up immunity for my girlfriend in the game, that I sacrificed myself, my own safety, in order for Gino to make that play. He has to be like, yeah, I'm the guy. I put my gummy bear in the bucket.
Not him, no.
It's just doesn't have the same ring to it. You know,
you're right. But he is one of the sweetest guys that I feel like we've seen on Big Brother Can't. He's so damn sweet.
That's why he can't do
lovely.
it.
Yeah,
because he's not going to then use it as this tool, right? I think he just generally was like, yeah, I think I have to do it. I think I also have to put my gummy in the thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That is right, but I just hated the fact that in his confessionals numerous times this episode that he kept saying, "Oh, I didn't like what Marty's doing. I didn't like the plan. I didn't like dealing with the gummies." But it just goes back to like you had an option at the end of the day, and I get you want to be a team player, you want to be this grandiose, and probably you don't have this thing of like, "Oh, I'm this guy. I need to channel being an all-American guy. I need to be one for the people." That's probably not what he was thinking. I just think he's a genuinely nice person and wants to be like equal playing fields with everyone. But it's kind of, you just have yourself to blame at the end of the day. I just didn't like it in his confessionals. He just was reverting back to that whole, like, I didn't like it from the get-go. I didn't like that he had to do that. And because you had a choice at the end of the day.
Yeah. So that's it for Gino. Josh wins the too many J's. Josh wins the veto, the HOH, and he has to he's going to nominate Jace and Marty, of course. The question is, who does he nominate for his third nomination? That's the tricky question. His loyalties to the crash test dummies, but by appearance, he's working with Summer and Betty. So what does he do? Now, there's sort of two routes he can take, right? One route is, screw the crash test dummies. I'm playing for myself, not for two other people. I'm going to do what's best for me. I've got two people loyal to me over here, two people loyal to me over here, and I'm going to navigate as best as possible. That route is you put Helena on the block. Helena's the third nominee. If everything stays the same, everybody votes to save Helena. Marty and Jace leave. Great. You tell Helena, I was hiding our alliance. If somebody had won the veto, then I would have put somebody else up, and then we would have had the votes to keep you no matter what. We kept things secret, right? Helena's going to turn on Josh soon anyway. That's the play. But that's not what Josh is trying to do. Josh wants to stay loyal to the crash test dummies. He's all in on Kevin, and Kevin wants to protect Helena. So instead, he nominates Summer, and Summer's not pleased.
So why the did you lie?
I loved every moment of that. Because Josh was just celebrating in the room with Betty. Not even a millisecond, Summer comes in. So Taran, like, give me pop, because I love that energy. But I legit thought she was gonna be like, okay, I'm just kidding. Like I get, but she did it, and she just kept rolling with it, and she doubled down on it, and I lived. Because he did lie to her. He did lie.
Can I ask something? So at the beginning of the episode, they do this like video montage, and they're like, and nobody knows a triple is coming. And they put a confessional in the show where Kevin is like, so is Eviction coming? Probably gonna have to get Gino. Then the triple is happening. Wait, I thought they didn't even know. I thought they didn't even know. Like, you told me. Like, I don't care if they know it doesn't matter to me if they guess that it's happening. But you can't also have the illusion that none of them know, and then also Kevin says it's new. So my question though here is, isn't the answer from Josh here like, yeah, but I had to put three people up. It's a triple. We didn't know it was a triple. But have they just been speculating so much that it's a triple that like that excuse holds no water?
It was supposed to be Helena. That was kind of the understanding that Helena should have been the third person up. And so the fact that he's putting her up, like, is not really a great excuse. There's an excuse to Betty, which is that, hey, we knew Summer wasn't loyal to us. She wavered on the vote to keep you with Herman on the block. I feel like we should save face with Kevin and Helena. And I think he's fine. I think Betty's fine with it. I think Betty's okay until later. So he loses Summer, but he keeps Betty. And Kevin and Helena are there, and theoretically everybody against Summer, although in reality at that point it's probably Kevin and Helena turning on Josh. But instead we're going to get to the veto competition, where, as we talked about, Jace wins the veto, which means he now has to put up a fourth person, and now he's really between a rock and a hard place, because he can put up Betty or he can put up Helena. Now, as we've already talked about, if he wants to go down the path of playing what's best for his own game, he should have already put Helena on the block. So we've already crossed that off the list. He's playing for Kevin and Helena. Even in that circumstance, there's a great case to be made for Josh and the group as a whole to say, I can't put Betty up. Because if I put Betty up and she stays, she's now going to know that the three of us are working together. What other conceivable reason would I have to put Betty on the block instead of you or Helena than the fact that we are aligned? And if she stays with Jace in this game, it will be the two of you versus her and Betty, or her and Jace in the HOH competition. And if they win, they're going to take a shot right at us. Because why would they go after each other if they know they're on the outs of this 3-person thing? We need to hide the alliance. If I put Helena on the block, Kevin, you can be a vote to save Helena. And I think this is the play from Josh. If I'm Josh, I go to Betty. I say, look, did you see how pissed Summer was?
So why the did you lie?
We've lost her. She's gone. She's going to be coming for us. She's going to want to work with Jace. Like, I think we need to get rid of her. I think I would rather go with keep Helena. Will you please promise me that if I put Helena on the block, you will vote to save Helena? In the moment, I think Betty's going to agree to this. If she doesn't agree to it, you go, please, I am begging you, please vote to save Helena. If she still says no, then okay, sorry, now I have to put you on the block then. But I think she says yes. And I also don't think Betty's the person that says yes and then turns around and says, I've actually changed my mind, Josh. I think she's going to be loyal to what she says. That's, I think, the play. I think Josh then says to Helena and Kevin, look, I've guaranteed Betty's vote. If I put Betty up, we're screwed in the next HOH competition. We need to hide our thing. I can guarantee you that Helena's good. Helena stays good. Boom. Easy. I think that's the way. I think that's the play.
Is this a case of like actually the like time crunch actually does come into play here? That like if Josh has some more time, does he think this over and like, yeah, maybe I do have to put up. Maybe I do have to,
That's the thing. They've had a lot of time to think about the plan. And basically, Kevin and Helena has been very worried, and Kevin and Helena have been very adamant. You're not going to put Helena on the block. If it comes down to it, you have to put Betty. Are you willing to do that?
It'd just be more time of that then.
Yeah. And Josh is like, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it. And so that's the decision being made. He puts Betty on the block, and you can see it in her face before it even happens. I was like, is he really going to do this? And then as soon as we come back from commercial and Betty's just looking like distraught, I'm like, oh my God, he's doing it. That is wild. That is just it's ridiculous.
That's wild.
It's very wild.
Wild. That's rough. What are the vote breakdowns if Helena goes up though? Is there a chance that Helena goes home?
There's a chance if they don't lock Betty's vote in, right? So if you need
Kevin a bit, right?
If they don't lock Betty in, Jace probably votes to save Summer. And so if Betty also saves Summer, then Summer stays and Helena goes. So they need Betty. But like I said, I think that if they get Betty's word beforehand, I don't think she turns around and changes her mind. So, it's
that
it's
alternate universe.
You can see why, if you're Kevin and Helena, you're going to push for Josh to not. If you're Helena, at the very least, you're going to push for Josh to not do that. If you're Kevin, I honestly, I think it's probably worth the risk. I feel like it's just very dangerous. But, we have seen Kevin and Helena go to work before. There's maybe a chance that they can smooth things over and come out on top of this still. But it's just going to be much more difficult if they're exposed like this. So
yeah, the risk for Kevin, right, is like coming out of this, that like this move happening, that Helena and Kevin do not go on the block, that they come out of this not mad at Josh, which it does seem like they're mad at, everybody's mad at Josh of this. There is this idea of like, yeah, I am mad at Josh, but you two are the ones who like are sitting pretty. You are the two who didn't get nominated.
Yeah.
And we're coming after you. Not what ends up happening, but I could see that playing into Kevin, that idea of like, ooh, is it worth it? Is it worth it to push for both of us not to get put up? So,
yeah, the risk is Betty and Jace look at each other. So we're on the bottom.
Yeah.
Right? It's those three. They've been secretly aligned this whole time. Any one of them has to go. If either of them win, two of them on the block, Josh and Kevin, Helena and Kevin, Helena and Josh, whatever. Whichever one we feel is the most threatening, we vote out. Maybe that's Josh. Maybe it's Kevin.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Helena. It could go anyway at that point, and maybe the veto determines who goes home. Like, that's a bad place to be if you're any one of those three.
Yeah,
That's rough.
which I think has happened. I think
That's
that's
rough.
you know that's rough. You know, it does feel like it will. You know, coming out of the episode, it's 3 against 2, and it's a 2 against 2 in the HOH competition. So yeah.
Yes. So what he does instead is he puts Betty up, and she is not happy. But they still vote to save Betty. All 3 of them vote to save Betty, which means that Summer and Marty are evicted. Marty goes out very much like it's a game. He says, and this is interesting, he says to Helena, "You should have kept me. You could have done it." He says to Kevin, "Good game move, Kevin." So worth noting, I will be talking to all 3 of these evicted players tomorrow morning. So we will hopefully get some kind of idea of what they're thinking in terms of jury vote beyond what we heard from Summer, which is
Joshua, you don't have my jury vote.
Period.
Just I'm never gonna think about any of them ever again. What a start. Summer is the exact person who does need to just, you know, once the Big Brothers just leave the Big Brother universe. Just like save. This is where the downfall is. I will say, you could be beloved in the house, and then you start getting on Twitter. You know, just don't be associated with it. It's pretty smart, actually.
Honestly,
I think she's gonna be in the mix. I like obviously.
I also think she's going to be in the mix.
Well, so here's the thing. I mean, like Summer in this moment has been like super hardcore backstabbed. Like I don't fault her for a minute that she's like super upset. And you know, even honestly, even if she held on to this, like I think she has no explanation for why this happened. You know, and so I think it will take a long time for her to process like why did Josh do that? Because here's another like super bitter thing, right? If you get betrayed by an ally and it is what's best for their game and they go on to succeed because of it, it's like, that sucks, but like it's a game, okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you get betrayed by an ally because they're being an idiot and they're not playing for themselves,
yeah.
You're like, what is wrong with you? Like, it gives you the out you need to just unleash, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, if it was what was best for your game, then I'd have to respect it, even though it burns. But the fact that this was a dumb idea in the first place, I want to make sure that you understand that this was the wrong thing to do. I'm going to make sure that you experience your failure because of this decision. And you have to take that into consideration. That's why it is important for, you know, when Kevin says like, this was my thing, I made it a blindside for my game. It's important to own the decisions, to make them yours, to make them decisions that you think were best for your game. Because if they appear to be controlled by somebody else for the benefit of somebody else, then that's going to play very poorly for the jury.
And for Josh, I think it already is paying very poorly for his jury outcome. So
yeah,
better hold on tight, buddy.
So
that kind of reminds me of Celebrity to a different, you know, environment, but Celebrity Big Brother 3 when Carson and Cynthia betrayed Shayna. And it was kind of like, you're doing this for that. We're like, this doesn't even make sense. You know, I've shown you X, Y, and Z, and you're listening to these people's words. So it kind of gives me that vibe a little bit.
It's tough too, because I think like if you think that, you know, we know that Moose and Ramon are kind of sitting there being like, I don't know about Josh. He does then win an HOH, and then it's just like, oh, maybe he could do something. And then no, that's what you did. Yeah. Oh no, nope. Too bad. That's rough.
And we also get this from Jace after everything.
Josh, we're gonna have a chat, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Josh is gonna have a lot of chats.
Yes. I mean, if we can call anything from JC iconic, I mean, that moment right there, that last few seconds that we got, I was kind of like, come on now. I love it.
Why is JC Lynn that upset? He's pretty. We gotta have a full chat.
I mean, her boyfriend just left. You know, she got put on the blog, X, Y, and Z. Trust me, there's a lot of people in that house that, not a lot of people now, but if Betty and JC, they better come together and put, you know, their anger together and figure out something And even if that figuring out something comes from a confrontation of both of them head on to all the other people, I'm with it. If they, depending on the results, but yeah.
I think she's just tapping into the collective anger. Like she's angry at everybody, but like everyone's angry at Josh right now. So that's the person that she can very publicly be like, all right.
Josh, we're going to have a chat, buddy.
I'm not on the outs. Josh is on the outs.
Exactly.
We all better have a chat with Josh. Josh
have
did some bad stuff, everybody. We better chat with Josh.
Oh boy. Well, what an episode. I mean, again, the exit here from Summer and Marty, very interesting in that like Marty is very much like, it was a game. I was so honored to play. And I'm going to vote for the best. He even says like on his way, like, I haven't decided who I'm voting for yet. Play the game the best. And Summer is just like, so like, I can't believe Josh just betrayed me. It's such a great contrast. And I love both of these ways of exiting. Like I love the like, hey, it was a game. I get it. Whatever. Because like, it's, to be fair again to Summer, like Marty wasn't deeply betrayed by people he trusted. He wasn't anybody he trusted deeply in the game. Yeah. Maybe Helena to some degree, but even then it wasn't the same sort of relationship. And so like, I like seeing people come out being like, being a good sport, whatever. I also, this is human emotion. Like Summer just got severely backstabbed and she's feeling it and she has every right to feel it in this moment. And she's pissed. And so the fact that they're sitting next to each other is just so funny to me.
Totally different energies, totally different outcome from the situation that they were put in. And if I was Summer, I'd be feeling the exact same damn way. And different, I mean, people be mad at you and people are sometimes like, oh, she's being over the top or she's not having the best sportsman, like conduct. Who gives a damn? You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like this is a Big Brother. This is a game where feelings and personal relationships come involved. In a certain, degree, I kind of can understand. And you did something messed up to your friend, and she has every right to feel however way she wants to feel about it.
Yeah, there's a world where Marty has a much greater, like a little bit more of a reaction, right? Like he says that I think the last episode, he goes, I know I'm on borrowed time. I know, I understand, I get it. Like he said, I think a lot of time to think about how he will eventually be voted out of this game. I believe so. Not a surprising reaction for him to be like, "That's the way it goes." Good luck. Yeah.
And like I think it's possible to come out and be like a bad sport about it. But I would very definitively say like that is not like Summer. This is not Summer being like a bad sport. This is Summer being like, I just got betrayed by one of my closest friends in the game, and I don't even understand why. This is not just this isn't bitter Betty stuff that's happening.
There's also, I mean, this is like again, like, I mean, yeah, I get it. Is it bitter? But it doesn't really matter. She's saying mostly, I mean, I get, and then the stuff that she's like saying, I feel like she's very clearly joking about this. Like, I'm never gonna think about them again. Like she is like playing, like she's doing basically a bit, which is she's just having fun and I think she's being entertaining. So I love it.
I mean, because it's like, did you see how wildly she was celebrating when Josh won the HOH?
Literally.
That was her night tonight. Like
her and Betty both. They were the loudest, screaming, running inside, ready for the shit to happen. And just for both of their ass to be put up, oh, chow. That was absolutely disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting.
Yes. So here we are. The end of the triple eviction. We are down to 5. Betty, Jace, Kevin, Helena, and Josh. The next HOH competition will be Betty and Jace versus Kevin and Helena here. And anything else from the episode before we get into the winner of this competition and some potential spoilers?
I about to say again, like JC really impressed me with just her competition, and I'm excited to see how she does in this way, not having Gino, if she can really do anything, navigate the waters, because it was super funny seeing her and Gino have their relationship, because in a lot of ways, even though Gino probably had more power, JC put in attempted to or tried to put in a lot of work in this game. So I just want to see that her character develop into something. I'm excited for it.
I feel like
not
she
hopeful,
also,
but just like we'll see.
She also might have the strongest underdog story of any. It feels strange that she's like in an alliance with Gina, but feels like perhaps the jury perception of her could be that now she's in this very tight spot, and if she could find her way to the end, that they might actually be pretty impressed by that. So I don't know, could be interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk some spoilers because we do have some advancement in the game. If you're gonna bow now, thank you for joining us. Hope you had a good time here in the triple eviction. It was
fantastic. This is what I've been waiting for.
It was great. Thank you all for joining. But it's time for some spoilers, and I think this is the new spoiler song.
I'm a winter baby in the winter.
No, we got a spoiler song.
The Office of Civil Defense has issued the following message. This is
A spoiler.
warning.
A spoiler.
Warning means that an actual
Spoiler.
against this country has been detected and that protective action should be taken.
I'm a winter baby in the winter.
Wait, I like the little DJ spin, homie.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to go to a club now. I love that.
Oh boy. Well, I have some HOH results. As I said, Betty and Jace, Kevin and Helena competing for the final 5 HOH, and the winner.
This is Business B. Let's get it.
Business B takes it home.
Wow.
Oh, I feel like we need like champagne. I feel like we need that music back, Taran, for like what the that was such an anticlimactic thing.
I'm a winter baby in the winter.
Yes, you know what I mean? Like that.
Hold on. I got something for you. Hold on. We got here we go.
Oh my God! Yes! I'm not going anywhere, Marty! No, I'm not!
That's what we need, baby.
I did want to. I was going to say when you. Is there anything else? I did not talk about Betty's POV speech. She takes herself down. Says, Marty, I am a strong, powerful woman, and I was a delight. She gets some snaps, but I thought, well, we could just say, look at this strong, powerful woman also winning head of household. The final 5.
This is huge. This is huge. Now, final 5 HOH is not the best HOH to win. The final 4 HOH is a better one to win, but she is now guaranteed to the final 4. She is just 2 competitions away from sitting in the final 2, where I think she has a great chance to win, especially if she wins those competitions. She now has a veto win under her belt and a clutch HOH win under her belt. She has not betrayed anybody in an egregious way. She is actually the recipient of a betrayal from Josh, which I think will really get the jury behind her, considering how anti-Josh they are. If they're anti-Josh, they are now, by default, pro-Betty. And that's a great thing for Betty. So Betty is in here with a great shot to win. She just needs to survive that final 4, and then she probably needs to win that final 3.
Well, here's the bet. This is worst case scenario for Betty this week. If Betty's decision, it feels like if she, we don't actually know that it is Betty and JC Lynn against Kevin.
Exactly.
We don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
But it feels like, objectively speaking, she probably needs to put up 2 of the 3. Doesn't really matter. And then you definitely need the third person not to win veto. That would be the worst, because then everybody else is playing an HOH and you're not playing an HOH. That would be bad.
Losing Jace here is the worst case scenario, because in a spot where it's her, Josh, Kevin, and Helena in the final 4, she's in, and she can't win HOH.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's a rough spot to be. Now, there's a decent chance that Kevin and Helena cut Josh over her, but I would not say it's a great chance at this point.
No.
At this point, I think we could say just definitively it's the wrong choice.
It's the wrong. Yeah, the jury
Betty
there. It's the
has
wrong
a much better chance of winning against them than Josh at this point, and Betty's won 2 competitions versus Josh's 1. Not to mention the fact that if Josh wins that final 4 HOH, then it's over before it starts. So the move here, I think for sure, is two of the three. Hopefully one of them go. You team up with Jace. You make a final two with Jace. I think Betty beats Jace. I think so. So now you've got somebody who's willing to take you to the end. That's a great way to go. Now, we need to talk about what we've seen in terms of Betty's actual plans. Because, and I want you to take this with a grain of salt, because this is what I'm seeing. I have not personally witnessed anything myself. And I haven't even seen exactly where it's coming from, but I have seen that people are saying they believe her intended nominations right now are Josh and Jace.
Oh, I mean,
Spicoli in the chat says that's what she said. That's what she said when she was by herself. She said Josh and JL when she was by herself.
So that's not great. Jace could win veto, but I guess you said there is a chance that Kevin and Helena could take out Josh. If that's what Betty is like pushing for. Although I
don't think they take Josh out over Jace right now, but they could take Josh out over Betty. But even then, it's like,
boy.
So here's the thing. It is early-ish on a Thursday night. And she's got plenty of time tonight, some time tomorrow to really like think it through. I think my guess for where her head is at here is she's still on the train of Jace tried to play us for a fool last week. Remember that whole thing I talked about in the beginning of the podcast, which is why I think this is very important. It wasn't included in the episodes, but I do think it's important in terms of the motivation here, is that she still feels like Jace was trying to trick her into they would never had any intention of targeting Marty, all of that stuff, and that Jace is still the enemy. She's still kind of, I think, probably in that mindset. So Jace would be one, and then if she's going to nominate another person, of course it's going to be Josh after what he just did to her. I don't know if she would intend to target Josh or if the target would still actually be Jace and she's just getting back at Josh and putting him on the block as a pawn. I don't think she's talked to anybody else about nominations yet, so that's unclear. But this would obviously be a huge result for Kevin and Helena. That if they are able to avoid the block this week, that would be huge. Now, Jace winning the veto would definitely put a wrench into that plan. And then one of them would have to go up, at which point it could be tricky. It would be Jace and the other one voting. It could go to a tie. If Betty decides she does want to keep Josh, then one of them could leave. So that could get rough here. I didn't have the right page up.
That's rough.
Too many sound bites.
That's right.
Darren, can I ask you? I see it in the chat a little bit. People chatting about it. Does the HOH? Will the HOH play in this veto competition, or they continue to sit out? Do you remember?
Oh wow, do I remember? I feel like they don't.
Feels like they're still at a point where it feels like they wouldn't. It feels like.
I'm trying to remember how it worked. I remember it being a thing.
Beth went out, so I'm.
You know what? Because I'm thinking about how it should be. And I feel like I remember Dane playing in the Final Four or Final Five veto, or was it Dane, or who was it? Was it Kira that won Final Five? Now I'm just losing my mind.
People are very much saying they do play in the Final
They play.
Five. So,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, Betty wins doesn't change much. I feel like, unless there's some world where Josh can make amends with Betty, but it feels.
Or Jace can kind of talk some sense into Betty. To be
right.
Like, hey,
yes. Braden won both. Right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they play, which is not the best thing for Jace if this is what happens. But
yeah.
But like I guess my point was that Betty could still be in the headspace of Jace bad because of the lies concocted by Kevin and Helena. But she's got some time to kind of come to her senses and realize and think through the evidence before her. Why did Josh not put up Helena and Kevin? Why are all these things happening? If she has a conversation with Jace about it, Jace can be like, what are you talking about? No, we really didn't intend to backdoor Josh. We did intend to backdoor Marty, and then what happened is Kevin and Helena got us to change our minds. And there's a good chance that this could all unravel. It's very difficult to keep up the kind of game Kevin and Helena are playing at the final 5. There's nowhere to hide here. Even Dr. Will himself saw his game unravel in the final 4 because he couldn't keep the lies going. So
Jace also voted to keep Betty, which could have been, I know that's where the safety votes are going. So why, make Betty mad? But she did put a vote to save Betty. So
that's something that could draw favor. I don't know. I hope that Betty, and she very well could be, if these are her nominees, aren't still just set on Jace, and that Jace could talk to her. But I don't even know if Jace talks to her, would that lead to anything, having Kevin and Helena.
Well, Jace Lynn is an icon. So anything can happen.
And here's the thing, right? Because Jace being on the outside of this should be able to see it even more clearly than Betty. Yeah. And Jace should also be able to be, if Betty can't see it herself, Jace should be able to say to Betty, it's clear as day, the 3 of them are working together. That's why he nominated you. We have to stick together. We have no option. Final 2. I will bring you to the final 2. And at that point, maybe Betty sees the light and she nominates like Kevin and Josh or something along those lines, right? So I would not take these initial plans as gospel quite yet.
And I would love, say JC Lynn. JC does stay around and her and Betty do work together. I would definitely have high probability of JC doing some damage in that next HOH competition if she stays, just based off of the results. And so if they do hitch their ride on each other, if I'm Betty and I can't play, if anybody in the house that I would want to play, it would be her. So
yeah. So that's where we are right now. I'm honestly surprised we got an HOH this fast. Normally there's a bit of a delay before we get the new HOH, but it does mean that we've got some time for Betty to figure out what she's going to do. So that's what we're going to be looking out for heading into tomorrow morning's update. I will, of course, be live 11 a.m. Eastern to update you on everything that happens tonight here on the Big Brother Canada 10 live feeds. Hopefully we'll have an update on what the intended plans are for nominations. I'm assuming that there will be more talks tomorrow as well. I'm going to be up very early tomorrow morning to talk to these 3 evicted house guests from the triple eviction. So that interview should be out hopefully sometime early in the day tomorrow as well, if you are on the lookout for that. And then that's what we've got heading forward. 2 weeks left in the game of Big Brother Canada 10. Yeah,
that's insane.
Wow,
it went by like that.
Yeah.
It's what are we gonna do without Big Brother Canada 10 in our lives?
I don't know what I would do without you.
Oh, but that's sad. It's gonna make me fall out again. I don't know.
Oh boy. So check it all out. Of course, find me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong. It was a great time watching the episode live with everyone, even though I had to cover the chat in the event that spoilers were real, even though I didn't believe they were real. So I'll be watching the remaining episodes here as the season comes to a close. You can also check out the Taran Show. Find me on Twitter @ArmstrongTaran. Any final thoughts here, Grace or Jacob?
No, this was fun. Exciting triple. It's good.
Exciting triple. I'm excited for for this last part of the season. It was typically kind of like, last season was definitely great as well, because we saw, Jensen leave and how Beth left. But I'm very excited. But typically in seasons, I kind of like fall off. I'm like, okay, things are predictable, but you just never know. We do have, I think, a front runner if they can maneuver their way effectively towards the end. But I'm excited for the rest of this season, and hopefully the underdogs can come together and not evict each other.
Who do you think is the front runner? I know who you think the front runner is. I know, just for everybody else. You think it's
Kevin? I think Kevin is the front.
Slither on through.
See, do I want him to slither on through? Yes and no, because like he's had his pulse on this game kind of the whole duration, and I've loved to see it. But some part of me is like, oh no, I don't want him to get 100% of his way. I want something to like come crumbling down. And Betty winning HOH could be the thing to crumble down if she can come to her senses. But I also do want him to win because he's put in major work, and I love the character that we have of Kevin because I don't feel like we've had this character in a very long time on Big Brother. But I also kind of want a Betty win. I want to see her. I've been thoroughly entertained by her and watching her play, and kind of not play to a certain extent, but just her personality shine through. I've loved it, and she's a real authentic person playing this game. And if she can make it to the end, seldomly do those people make it to the end, just being as raw and just being as raw and transparent as she has been this whole season. So I think that would be something good for me as well. So it's both ends.
Yeah, well, somebody's gonna slither
I'm actually
through.
just going to slither through.
Somebody's gonna slither through. It's gonna be me.
Here's the thing. It has been a long time since somebody won the game without winning these endgame competitions, and Kevin and Helena have not been winning these endgame competitions. The fact that there were 4 people competing and they were still not able to pull out a win, it does not speak super highly of their chances moving forward from here. At the end of the day, you can be as great at the game as you want because of the way that the competitions are set up and how important they are nowadays in Big Brother. If you don't win them, it's really tough to win the game. So I honestly don't even know that Kevin is the front runner at this point. I would say, I mean, honestly, if Betty and Jace get their stuff together and they start working together, I would say they are the front runners right now.
Let's snap to that. Let's say a prayer. Say to Taran, don't say nothing else after that comment now. Don't say nothing else after that. Let's let it be.
So we will see. We will see. All right, that's what we've got. Grace, what are you up to? Where can people find you?
Oh, lots of stuff, mostly over on post-show recaps, covering Winning Time, the HBO show on Sunday night with Jason Reed, doing weekly movie coverage with Ariel. And Ariel, myself, and Marissa are also covering the new season of Russian Doll, which has been fun. So we have daily podcasts. The season just dropped yesterday, and we'll have an episode a day, a podcast a day for all 7 episodes of the show. So that's very fun. And here over on Rob as a Podcast, I have the Off Speed podcast, in which we talk about sports. This week, the host of Crime Scene joined me to talk about figure skating scandals. Was rather enjoyable. So yeah, that's the Off Speed podcast, and I'm on Twitter at Hi from Grace.
All right,
busy.
A little busy.
Yes, Jacob. How much have I changed your life with the bidet?
I get excited going to the toilet. Like I go to the toilet just to press it. Like I don't even have nothing coming out. I just want to feel the sensation, and just you getting that for me adds the little cherry on top that I need, And so I love it. I can't wait till I turn 26. Then what?
What's next? A screwdriver?
That can do some damage. But I haven't been up to anything. I've been just chilling. I was on Temptation Island podcast, I think like last week, which was which was super fun, talking to my old co-host. Well, can I say old co-host if like the season ended and we aren't doing it right now, but when the season comes back, is that old?
Ex-co-host.
My ex-co-host.
No, that really sounds like you're not doing it anymore.
Oh yeah, Taran.
No, they're still your co-hosts.
Yeah.
They're just on. They're just on a little break.
So a little hiatus.
Yeah,
a little. I don't know what the hell that means, but me and Maggie are on a little break right now. We're gonna get back together. I was on Temptation Island with her and Kirsten, doing amazing. Grace, I think this is my first podcast with you, if I'm not mistaken. I had a complete blast.
Yeah, this is a fun.
I think you're amazing, Taran. You know how much I. And sorry, that might have not sound good for people in the fight. But yeah, I've had a blast today. You can catch me or follow me or see me everywhere at JacobJ_Jones. And yeah, when someone calls, I may come or I may not come. So it just depends.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here tonight. We hope you had a good time, and we will see all of you next winter.
I'm a winter baby.
Oh!